Hello and welcome. Apparently I'm live, coughing live. Welcome, my name's Shraddha Gita and I'm here with Tara in the LBC's breathing space shrine room downstairs. So we've got the triptych. Those of you that are used to our yoga classes will be familiar with this lovely triptych, but those of you that haven't been to our live classes might not be. So yeah, just you can sit and enjoy looking at this beautiful painting. Grab whatever you need for yoga. Yeah, and really warm welcome to you if you're joining today for the first time or if you've been tuning in quite a lot over the last few months. And today's class, which I'll say a little bit more about when we actually start at 12-ish, is called Radiant Awareness. So hopefully by the end, we're all going to be more radiant. I can't promise, but we'll try. Yeah. And do say hello in the chat box if you'd like to say where you're tuning in from, near or far. It's always great to hear from you. So, yeah.
Linda says hi from Chesterfield.
Chesterfield. Wow. Hi, Linda. Nice.
And Marina says greetings to Shraddha Gita and everyone from Crystal Palace.
Marina's back. She's been away on holiday, I think, and now she's back in Crystal Palace. Great. Hi, Marina. Usually we have a few very local people. We have people from sort of literally over the road from the Buddhist Center and then, you know, spreading out around the world. So, yeah. Actually, while we're waiting, I'm just going to mention that on Sunday we've got a festival day at the Buddhist Center. This week we've got a special course which is all about breaking free and transformation. And it's a Buddhist course with meditation. We're also offering restorative yoga. It's too late to book on that now, but on Sunday is like the culmination of that week. There's a festival day which is celebrating Padmasambhava, who was a teacher in Tibet, a bit like the second Buddha, you could say. And I'm going to be co-leading that day on Sunday with someone called Sangajit, and you're very welcome to join us at any point during the day. So if that's something you might be interested in, there's going to be meditation, there'll be a children's activity, which adults are also welcome to, of course. There'll be ritual, a talk, and in the evening there'll be a puja, which is another ritual, and some mitra ceremonies. So yeah, do check it all out on the website, and it'd be great to see some of you at that event as well. Some things are on Zoom, some will be live streamed, so yeah. It's a bit chillier today, I noticed. The sun was shining as I came here, but it really felt like a cold wind. So I'm imagining you're all inside today, not outside in your gardens or balconies or the park. Yeah, so you might even want to get a blanket for the Shavasana as well, have one close by. That's the first time I've really encouraged people to do that since we started these, but yeah, we might definitely need one. So yeah. Okay, well, we'll start. So yeah, today we're going to be focusing on radiant awareness, and a really warm welcome if you've just joined us. I'm here at the London Buddhist Center with Tara, and my name's Shraddha Gita. Tara's doing the tech support, which is great. And yeah, today we're going to be focusing a little bit on creating a bit more space to breathe. So I think one thing that can help us become more radiant is if we actually create a bit more space to breathe fully. Sometimes we breathe mainly from our front body, and what we want to try and do really is start to kind of expand our side body, even our back body in terms of breathing and really activate those muscles to start working. So if we were in a live class now, I might get you to pair up and do some of these little exercises that we're going to do. But I've got a suggestion that you can try, maybe not in the class today, but at a later time on your own, which might work. But we'll just do some things to kind of get our side body breathing more fully. And then we'll carry on with that, doing some poses that actually really stretch the side body. We'll do some twists, some standing poses. And we'll kind of free up the upper back and the neck area a little bit as well. So hopefully by the end, you'll feel stretched and you'll feel like you've got more space and you'll be radiating, and we'll be able to feel all that radiation pouring through the computer. So let's just take a moment though, just to pause, do a little transition between whatever we've been doing this morning. Perhaps we've been working, or we've just had a busy morning doing stuff at home. But let's just take a little transition to arrive a little bit more into the space, into the yoga space. And you can really congratulate yourself for getting here. It can take a bit of an effort to sort of carve out some time for oneself when you're working at home, when you've got a lot of things you're trying to do. So just take a moment to appreciate the fact that you have carved out this space, and just feel your body starting to relax a little bit and feel connected with the ground beneath you, with your cushions or blocks supporting you. And notice the breath just as it is, no need to change it in any way. Just see if you can breathe naturally. Noticing the sensations in the body as you do that, the energy in the body as you do that. And you're making room for all your experience of body. So there might be some uncomfortable sensations in the body, places that feel a bit contracted, a bit tight. So just let there be enough room for them. Let there be enough room for the more neutral bits in the body. They might even be a little bit numb. Make enough space for them. And also making enough space for any pleasant sensations, any opening in the body, any sense of relaxing, releasing. And then just see if you can follow a few breaths and notice where you experience the breath most vividly. So which part of the body do you most feel the breath? And wherever that is, just let your awareness rest there for a few breaths. And then slowly starting to open the eyes. Still sitting with this awareness of the breath. And we're going to bring our hands onto the side ribs. So it's quite nice to have the fingers pointing forwards, the heels of the hands, a little bit more round the back of the body. And just see if you can start to breathe into your hands. Just see if you can do that from the inside. Feeling the rib cage expanding, a little bit like an accordion, starting to tune up, starting to play some notes. So sometimes these muscles, these intercostal muscles, aren't so used to working. So it might even feel a bit sort of unusual, even slightly uncomfortable for those muscles to actually work a little bit. And then you can take the hands away and just see if you can still feel the imprint of the hands and the movement of the ribs, the side ribs, into these imaginary hands. So you're still expanding the breath from the inside out. Great. I can already see you're sitting up more tall. The spines and the intercostal area are lengthening and expanding. That's great. So if we were going to do the same with our back, a really nice way of doing that is with a partner, but obviously we're not going to be able to do that. But just to let you know, if you do yoga with a partner, you can place the hands on different parts of the back and breathe into the hands. So you can start with the lower back, then the middle back and the upper back. If you're on your own, one way that you can try doing that, which I just suggest you try at some other point, is to have a cushion and place it against the back and sit against a wall. And it might take a little while to feel that connection, but that is one way of starting to get those back muscles to actually activate and switch on really in terms of our breathing. So that's just a suggestion for when you've got some spare time. Okay, so we're going to do something now just to release the shoulders. So we're going to lift up our shoulders all the way up to our ears on an in-breath, and then really let them go. Really exhale. So let's do that 3 times. Last one. And then we're going to try and lengthen the neck. So we're going to interlace the fingers, bring them to the base of the neck. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift the elbows, spread the elbows and lift the chest. So we're lengthening through the neck. We're also rooting down through the sitting bones. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the elbows together and round the back, drawing the gaze down towards our navel. And then inhaling, lifting the elbows, spreading the elbows a little bit, lengthening the neck again, and looking up if that's okay. And then exhaling, release. Let's do that one more time. Really stretching out, lengthening the neck, opening the chest. Wonderful. And then exhaling, release. And then let the hands come down, and we'll do a few cat-cows, but seated. So you can place the hands just on the knees, and then as we inhale, we kind of bring the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. And then as we exhale, we round, we straighten the arms, and we let the head drop. So on the inhale, we bend the arms, bring the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. Exhaling, rounding. You're just doing a few of these with your breath, creating this space to breathe more fully. Couple more. As we exhale, drawing the navel back towards the spine, inhaling, lifting the chest, roll the shoulders back, exhale, rounding. Last one. And release. Great. And then let's bring our arms in a cactus shape. So nice cactus arms. And then we're just going to slowly rotate from the central column. So it might mean that you're just rotating a little bit to begin with. We're trying to keep the hips forward and steady. And we're just starting to rotate on that central column. It might be that after a little while you want to go a bit faster, or you might like to just do this in a more slow, exploratory way. And this is a nice way to release the upper back a little bit. And if your arms get tired, feel free to bring them down and you can just turn a little bit more like this. But if it's okay, then just another few seconds. Great. And then you can slowly unwind. So just slowing down and coming to stillness. And then a little side stretch. So let's put the left hand on the ground, lift the right, and start to turn the torso. So we're turning the torso from the left. So it's moving up towards the right. And then lifting that right arm so that it comes alongside the ear. So we're turning the chest. Keep turning the chest up. Breathe here, stretching that right side. And then swapping sides, so bringing the right hand down, turning the torso towards the left and up, lifting the left hand, bringing it alongside the left ear. So we're really rooted in our sitting bones, and we're lengthening from that base, stretching that left side body, active in the fingers. And then let's just do that one more time on each side. So again, turning the torso, reaching with the right fingertips, feeling that stretch, feeling that space getting created in the torso. Last one. Right hand down, turn the chest towards the left, looking up. One more breath. Great. And release. Brilliant. And then we're going to come to a few cat-cows on our hands and knees as we normally do them. So again, thinking about this movement as it's the same as when we were sitting. So we're bringing the chest forward and we're rolling the shoulders back, creating a little bit more space in the upper back and neck. And then as we exhale, we're rounding. So we're dropping the head and tail. Inhaling, drawing the chest forward and up. And exhale, rounding, head and tail drops. So just a few more of these. Really feeling into the side body. Hopefully we've created a bit more space to breathe. Wonderful. And then I'm going to just walk our hands round to there at the long side of the mat. We're just going to sit back on our heels for a moment. So we're going to come into what's called a gate pose. So it's a side stretch. So we're going to come up onto our left knee, and you want the top of the left foot to be pressing down. And then we're going to stretch out the right foot and really keep that sense of alignment with the foot and the left knee, pressing the outer edge of the foot down, and try and keep this knee and hip roughly in line. You might want a little bit more support under this left knee. So just establishing that, and we might not get that far. So again, what we're going to be trying to do is turn our torso. So turning up. So we're going to slide the right hand down, and it might just get to the knee. I'm feeling a little bit stiff today on that side. So, but I'm also still trying to turn my torso. And then I'm going to lift up my left hand and bring it over. So this is quite a strong stretch for the left side. And over time, the right hand may slide a little bit more. But we're trying not to collapse in the chest, so we're turning. And this pose is a little bit like Trikonasana, but it's much easier on the hips. But you've got that same sort of lengthening, stretching, same sense of this side stretch. 2 more breaths. Great. And then release on that side. Bring the bottom down onto the heels for a moment. Feel the body, feel where we've just worked. Well done, great. And then this time coming up onto the right knee, pressing the top of the right foot down, stretching the left foot out. Really make sure you press the ball of the left foot, big toe down, outer edge. And then let the left hand slide, lift the arm, turning the torso. And looking towards that arm, if that's okay, on the neck. Breathing, feeling that stretch on the right side. Well done. 2 more breaths. Keeping that outer edge of the left foot really active. It's really switching on. And release. Wonderful. And then slowly coming back again to just sit on the heels. And then we're going to turn back to the short edge of our mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers, tucking the toes. I'm going to lift the hips, lift the knees, and come into a downward dog. So let the knees be really soft. You can start to walk out the legs. Seeing if you can roll your shoulders out a little bit now from the inside. Pressing the hands forward and down to activate the arms. And creating more space around the upper back. Let the head be in line with the spine. And keep thinking about lifting the sitting bones.
So the shape of the pose is more like an up-ended V. So it's got this height in the sitting bones. 2 more breaths. And if you do get tired, I'm just going to demonstrate. You can come back into child's pose. That would be fine. Or if you can, just staying for a few more breaths. Wonderful. And then we're going to step our left foot towards the left thumb, keeping the knee bent. And we're going to come onto the ball of the back foot. So straightening that back foot, activating the thigh. And then we're going to take the hands off the ground and bring them just above the left knee. So we're coming into a high lunge. So first of all, just really lifting the torso now, active in that back leg, particularly the thigh, and strong in the front foot, making sure the knee isn't overshooting. Couple of breaths here. It's quite a strong stretch for that back leg. If it's really difficult, the high lunge, you can bring the back knee down and come down a bit lower. So do feel free to do that. And then let's bring the hands together. And we're going to bring the torso forward. And as we do that, we're going to bring the right elbow across the left knee for a twist. So place the hands together, bring the right elbow across the knee. And if your balance is a bit unstable, then look down at your left foot. Again, you can bring the back knee down if that makes it easier. Don't forget to really keep that right thigh active. And then see if you can turn a little bit towards the left. One more breath. Great, well done, that's fantastic. And then bringing the hands down, stepping that foot back and coming back into the downward dog. And just walking out the legs a little bit, and then we're going to swap sides. So just stepping the right foot forward this time to the right thumb, active in that back, left foot. Bring the hands off the ground. Active in this left thigh. Check where your front knee is, it's not overshooting. Find some stability here. Remembering you can drop that back left knee if you need to and come into a low lunge. But if you're able to be in this high lunge, then staying here. One more breath, and then we're going to bring the hands together. And then we're going to bring the torso forward and bring our left elbow this time across the right knee. Looking at the right foot if we need to for a bit of stability. Bring the left knee down if it's difficult. And then see if you can turn towards the right. Pressing the hands together and using that connection of the hands and the elbow to knee to see if you can find a little bit more rotation. Activating the core can also help that rotation. So gently engaging the core, finding a bit more length, finding a bit more rotation. One more breath. Wonderful. And then hands down, step back into downward dog. Walk out the feet again. And then let's drop the knees, lower the chest and come down into a cobra. So just lifting the chest and shoulders. You can wave back down. Coming up again, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back. Elbows come towards the sides of the body so they're tucked in. Release down, last one. lifting up and releasing down. And then press the hands, come back through all fours and back into downward dog. Great, well done. You're all doing really well. Fantastic. Keep lifting the sitting bones. And then from there, we're going to walk our hands forward. Sorry, our feet forward. Come into a forward fold. And see if you can interlace your hands behind you and then release the hands. If that's not possible, then just let the hands rest. Backs of the hands could rest on the ground, or they could be on your shins or thighs. But if you can interlace them, that's great, and you can let them move towards the ground, opening the upper back and the chest. One more breath. And then release the hands onto the ground. Press the earth away with your feet and then circle the arms all the way up and bring the hands to the heart. Great, so we're going to come into a pose now called Talasana in yoga therapy. That means palm tree pose. So sometimes these poses are given different names in different yoga traditions, but apparently in yoga therapy, where I got this pose from, it's called the palm tree. So you basically lift the arms up, stretching up as tall as you can. So really let the weight drop down through the feet, active, the balls of the feet, the edges of the feet, all corners of the feet. And then, like a palm tree being blown by the wind, we're going to stretch over to the left. Great, and you can feel that stretch on the right side. Really lengthen through the fingers. Breathing into the side body. Great. Back to center, and then to the other side. Again, really stretching those fingers, really stretching the left side, and then one more time on each side, back to center, stretching up, and then stretching over to the left. Great. And then back to center, and stretching over to the right, keeping the hips level. They might go out slightly to the opposite side from your arms. That's fine. Breathing and then back to center. Great. Release the arms, just standing for a moment. Closing the eyes. And just notice your breath now. Notice if there feels like there's a bit more space in your torso, more space to breathe. Can you still feel the side ribs working, the side muscles in the rib cage from the inside? And then we're going to widen our feet to about 1 meter or so, and we can check that by just lifting the arms, and we want our ankles roughly to be under the wrists. And you want your toes to be pointing forwards. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, but bring the index finger pointing upwards. So the two index fingers in touch with each other and pointing upwards. So again, stretching up through the side body. And this pose is apparently called the Beauty and Hansel pose because, well, I'm not sure because, but I have heard that it's because it actually brings some circulation into the face and the hair, and it can make people much more beautiful and radiant. So I thought we needed to do it today if we're going to be more radiant. So lifting up, and then we're going to draw 3 circles with these index fingers, which are like our sort of pencil. So we're going to draw 3 to the left. So stretching, keeping the feet forward on the long line of the mat, and drawing these really big circles with our index fingers. So you can do 3 in one direction. And then when you've done your 3 in that direction, you can move to the other foot and start the circles on the other side, really making big circles around. So you're stretching the side body. Great. And then you can release the arms. And yes, you all look more beautiful, more radiant, I can tell. And then from there, we're going to turn our right foot out and keep the left foot where it is. Keep the hips kind of towards this long side of the mat. I'm going to try Trikonasana now. So lengthening the arms and really lengthen, lengthen, lengthen with that right arm. And maybe just bring it onto the shin for now, first of all. And bring the left arm, left hand rather, onto the sacrum. And see if you can now turn your torso a little bit. So what can easily happen in this pose is we go down low, and then when we lift our arm, we sort of collapse a bit. So much better to have the hand on the shin and then turn the torso. Keep thinking about turning, and then you can try bringing the arm up and see if you can look up towards that arm. You can go lower if you can keep that sense of turn in the torso. But if you collapse, then it's better to have the hand higher up. One more breath. Great. And then coming back up, and we'll swap sides. So turning the feet. Lengthening the arms, really lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Bringing that hand onto the shin, right hand onto the sacrum, turning the torso towards the right, up as well. And then lifting the back arm and looking up towards that hand. 2 breaths here. 1 more breath. Great. And then slowly we're pressing into the feet to come up. And then bringing the feet forward again. We're just going to come into quite a nice twist for the back. So you might want your blocks, you don't have to have them, but if you have got some blocks, you might want to put them between your feet, or you may not need them. And again, you want the feet to be pointing forwards. And what we're going to do is, first of all, just bring the left hand onto the blocks and take a turn towards the right, and then lift that right arm up. So this is a nice twist, but it also keeps the pelvis, the sacrum fairly level. So it's quite a nice twist for the back. And then you can let the right hand swing down a bit like a pendulum. That can come onto the blocks. And then you can lift left arm and turn towards the left. So just doing a few of those. If you need to keep a soft bend in the knees, that's fine. You don't need to lock the legs. Just exploring this twist. Just a few more of these. And then you can let the hands come down to the ground and you can heel toe the feet in. And then we're going to come down onto our mat. So you can just bend the knees, come down to a seated position. And then let the back come down onto the floor. You can hug your knees. And then take a hand on each knee and draw some little circles around the sacrum, just easing out the lower back. Small circles, really massaging, giving the sacrum a little bit of kindly attention, and then going in the other direction. And then you can hug the knees towards you as you exhale. And as you inhale, just let the knees subtly move away from the body. So it doesn't need to be a very big movement. And then exhale, draw them back towards the chest. Inhale, let them move away again. And exhale, back towards the chest. Inhale, away. Exhale, back towards the chest. And then you can let your feet drop down to the mat and let the knees turn towards each other, maybe rest against each other for a moment, letting the sacrum release. We're also turning the femur bones in the thighs and opening the sitting bones as you do this, creating a bit more space there. And then you can either stay like this or you can straighten the legs out for Shavasana. So as you start to move into Shavasana, really let yourself rest. Really let the body release as best you can. Feel all that space that you've created in the body. And feel the energy of the body. Feel the little tinglings in the fingertips. Perhaps some sensations in the feet, around the heart. And let your face be soft. And let the breath blow through you like the wind on an autumn day, blowing through a house with all the windows and doors open. Letting the breath fill the body and letting yourself become more radiant, your awareness to become more radiant.
And then slowly start to bring a little bit of movement back into the fingers and toes, stretching out the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. You could take a stretch behind you. Fully inhabiting the whole length of your body. And then you can bring your feet onto your mat and just roll to your side for a few breaths, perhaps curling the knees towards the chest and cradling the head in the arm. And then slowly coming up from there, and we'll just finish with a very short meditation. So finding your blocks or cushions. Closing the eyes and just feeling the awareness now, noticing if your awareness feels more vibrant, more radiant. Notice if the breath has got a little bit more space in the body to breathe into. And then from your stillness, let that awareness radiate outwards. I'll read us a poem just to kind of express that. And it's from a book called The View from Cold Mountain, and it's by someone called Shiite. Not going, not coming, rooted deep and still. Not reaching out, not reaching in. Just resting at the center. A single jewel, the flawless crystal drop. In the blaze of its brilliance, the way beyond. Not going, not coming, rooted deep and still. Not reaching out, not reaching in, just resting. At the center, a single jewel, the flawless crystal drop. In the blaze of its brilliance, the way beyond. And then slowly opening the eyes. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Tara for being here once again to do the tech. And do look out for our live classes. We have got live classes now at 1:15 on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. And also we've got one on Saturday, but from next Saturday, the first Saturday in October, there'll be two classes on Saturday, one at 10 o'clock and one at 11:30. They need to be booked, so do look out for those, and you need to bring your own mat. But you're very welcome to book up for those classes. Also, do look out for these classes are still going to be continuing. So, yeah, if you find it easier to practice at home or you're tuning in from further away, then yeah, these are still going to be going. So I hope to see you at some of these. And if you'd like to make a donation for the class, that would really help us. It means we can keep on offering these classes to people all over the world. So if you've got the means to do that, then Tara's going to put a link in the chat box and you just need to click on that link. Once again, thanks for joining us and really hope to see you all again soon. Have a great rest of the day.